I'm joined on the line by travel expert Eoghan Corry. Eoghan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. What trauma that is in a tide this morning, yes.
Absolutely, I know. But of course, people are out and supporting them as always, so it's great to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great to see still around the community spirit still surviving in this dark age, you know.
Now, on to travel. Now, I wouldn't dream of bringing my laptop on holidays, but of course there are lots of people who need to bring their laptop with them for work or entertaining children while they're away. Can people now travel with their laptops or not?
It's a good news for laptops people this morning. There's been a lot of effort by the Americans in particular to bring a total ban on bringing laptops into the cold, into the cabin on aircraft. People rely on them. It's not just laptops. I know you say you wouldn't dream of bringing it on holidays, but the day of the bringing the 8 novels on holiday is more or less gone. People are bringing Kindles and tablets and phablets, as they're called, and all of those things, and they're all subject to a ban already from 10 airports into America and the Middle East, or if you're flying into UK, from 6 different countries. The Americans have talked and they've huffed and they've puffed about extending that to all flights inbound to America. It looks like now that's not going to happen, but what they've done is they've drawn up a list of demands to be met by airlines and airports, which they say, you know, they're almost holding the threat of the overall laptop ban up if these are not fulfilled, and we're not quite sure what those conditions are going to mean.
Now, you mentioned there's already 8 areas where you can't bring a laptop or a Kindle or any of those kind of devices you mentioned.
Just to America. You can bring them into Ireland, all right. Istanbul would be Dubai, Abu Dhabi. They would all be in the American ban list. You can still come to Ireland with them. But there are 6 countries on the UK list as well. Irish passengers not affected unless you're flying through London from some of the countries. Sorry to cut across you, but that's important that, you know, people don't get stressed at the moment. The laptop there's no restriction on laptops in the cabin to and from Ireland in any sense at the moment, and we're hoping to keep it that way. The Irish authorities have no plans to change that.
Now, we're okay here in Ireland. I was going to say, I'm just curious as to people who are travelling to those areas. A lot of people travel for business and need their device. You know, what are they doing?
That's important. It's not just that the business people need their laptop. It means that the business people tend to be the ones who pay the most for the fares. And one of the economics of aviation is that the people at the front of the aircraft in the business class pay for most of the cost of the flight, meaning that economy tickets can be a little bit cheaper. What we've seen since the laptop ban was implemented, the number of flights operated by Emirates directly to America has been reduced because the number of people that have stopped travelling, or the number of businessmen who stopped travelling because their laptop is their livelihood. That, if that was to be extended to other European countries, would be catastrophic. Particularly in the case of Ireland, we've 27 flights a day. It's hard to believe. We have 27 flights this summer every day into North America. We've 8 flights a day into the 3 New York airports. And if the economics of those flights was affected by a laptop ban, they'd start getting reduced, and all of that freedom of choice, and not to mention the very good airfares you can get, particularly into Stewart International, they would all come under threat. So the laptop ban, it will have, if it was to be implemented by the Americans, would have a very big impact on our quality of life and our quality of choice and our travel plans. But it does look like it's been averted for the moment.
So it's wider than a laptop ban. It could have a knock-on effect for all of us who get cheap flights to, let's say, America. Absolutely. Or have a choice to go at 7 or 8 different times a day to America.
That's it. Once the economics start getting tipped in the wrong direction, airlines don't fly unless they're very quick to cancel nowadays. And to reduce flight frequencies nowadays, if they see even a small downturn in the market. Some of the listeners will be very familiar with that from Ryanair flights getting cancelled with about 3 weeks to go and being shoveled onto another one instead. But what the Americans also have to grapple with is the economic impact, but does this make sense from a security point of view? One of the important things that happened since they first proposed the laptop ban was a JetBlue flight from New York to San Francisco was diverted to Grand Rapids in Michigan, and it was a small fire in the hold was picked up by the smoke detectors caused by a battery on a laptop. So the big question is it any safer in the hold than it is in the cabin? And nobody's been able to answer that question. The Europeans in particular have been forcing that issue very strongly with the Americans, saying this doesn't make sense from a security point of view. What the Americans have now said is, okay, we accept your arguments, but we need 2 or 3 measures to justify us making an issue out of this in the first place. And the 3 things they're looking for is increased swab tests in airports. That's going to delay going through security if more and more laptops are being pulled to the side and you have to go through that swabbing process. The second thing they're looking for is more screening of airport staff. I would always argue very strongly that's more an American issue than a European issue, because American airport staff are paid so badly they'd be better off at McDonald's, and they have a very high turnover. So screening of staff is a bigger problem when you've got a low pay. And the third thing that they're looking for is more sniffer dogs. So anyone in Kildare this morning that has an old mutt that could be trained in, it's a good time to be a sniffer dog.
Well, Eoghan Corry, travel expert. We'll leave it there. Thanks for that update.